Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name is Shahada and thank you for watching my channel, clicking on my video. And this is a long awaited video, not for you guys but for me, because this is a video that I've been wanting to do because I have a lot of things that I want to get off my chest, and I know there's a lot of people out here that can relate to the situation, that has been through the situation or is currently going through the situation and don't know what to do. So I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna try to make this video as raw as possible. I'm gonna try to leave out as many edits as I can. Not that I really edit these kind of videos, but I'm gonna try to make it as raw as possible. I keep all my text messages, so I have all my receipts. I keep all my texts for years. So I'm gonna talk about my 20-year friendship with this girl. I'm not gonna say her name. I'm gonna give her a name, Sarah. Sarah's not her real name, but that's what we're gonna call her. This video is not to like bash her at all. It's just something that needs to be talked about. So I'm gonna start from like the very beginning that I can remember, and it's like so much, so this video is gonna be kind of long. I'm gonna try to stay in order of events as much as possible as I can. And yeah, so me and Sarah have been best friends since as long as my brain has been developed. Our mothers were pregnant together. We went to the same daycare. We've just been friends forever. I have pictures of us in like 2001, 2002 in diapers. I was born in 2000, she was born in 2000, so we've always been best friends, right? Growing up, we went to the same elementary school for a little bit. She moved around a lot with her mom and her siblings and stuff like that, so we weren't always that close while we were young. We would see each other maybe every couple of months, whatever. So as we got older, we went to the same middle school together, and then in high school we weren't that close, but you know, she was still my best friend. Like, it was still like, you know, that type of friendship. Sleep over her house, she would sleep over my house, and things like that. So this girl is someone that I actually considered like my sister, like my best friend, like forever. Like, I would do anything for her. You know, she meant the world to me, and it's still like no love lost or anything. Like, I always have love for this girl, but it just took me a long time to like realize that she's not my friend, you know. And I don't think she even really likes me, honestly, and you guys are gonna see why as I'm telling the stories. I want to say there's so many red flags. There were so many red flags throughout this friendship that I just always ignored, and people always pointed out to me like, she's not your friend. Like, this girl is not your friend. Like, she doesn't like you. I don't know why you keep talking to her. I don't know why you keep forgiving her. Like, and that's my problem when it comes to a lot of people. There's so many red flags that I just ignore, and then I look like the dumbass at the end of the day. So it was really, I would say this friendship kind of was really one-sided after a while. You know, it came to a point where me and Sarah would only talk when I reached out to her, when I called her. If I tried to make plans, that's the only time that we would communicate. If I didn't, then we just wouldn't talk. So in 2018, I'll start from 2018. 2018, we were both 18 years old. I had a surgery. I had a really big surgery in 2018, my tailbone surgery, which my recovery process was like a year, because when my stitches were supposed to be taken out, it wasn't time for them to be taken out. My wound popped open and I had to heal from the inside out. So I couldn't do anything by myself. I was depressed. I was going through a breakup while trying to recover from surgery. So Sarah would come to my house. She would Uber to my house when she got out of work every single day, for a while, which I really appreciated. She would, you know, bring food, order food. She brought me like a little gift bag, you know, a get well bag and things like that. that I really appreciated. Like I said, we weren't always that close because she was always moving, and you know, she didn't even have a cell phone until maybe like her sophomore junior year in high school, so it was kind of hard for us to communicate, but you guys know what I mean. So around that time I felt like we were getting, like, you know, kind of closer than we've ever been, if that makes sense. So she was there for me during my surgery. Like, I couldn't even shower myself. She helped me, like, she showered me basically. Like, you know, she was really a best friend, what a best friend was supposed to do. And then she ended up leaving to go to basic training a few weeks after my surgery. So she was gone for a few months. I think it was 3 months. No phones. We could only communicate through like email and stuff like that. So she ended up leaving during that time. We were sending each other letters and stuff like that. When she came back from basic training, we were when she came back from basic training, I remember getting out the shower one day and she was in my room, and I was like, I started crying and everything because I missed her so much, and she surprised me when she got back, and it was just like really special. We went out to eat and to get ice cream that day and stuff like that, and you know, things were normal. I ended up having, no, that's different. But when she got back from basic training, like as time went on, I felt like she started to change, kind of. She started getting close to like this other girl, and I don't want to say her real name either, so let's call her Ashley, right? So she just got really close to Ashley, and Sarah was going out every weekend to the clubs and stuff, and I wasn't getting any invite ever. So I'm not saying that, you know, you're going out with your other friends and I should be getting invited, because I know that, you know, just because you're best friends with somebody doesn't mean that your best friend needs to hang out with you and your other friends. I get that. But she was going out every Friday and Saturday, and I wasn't getting an invite, like, ever. And we're supposed to be best friends. Like, she never invited me. She never made plans with me. Like I said, it got to a point where, like, I always had to reach out to her, or I always had to try to make plans for us to like see each other and hang out and stuff like that. And I didn't really like the one-way street. Or she would like be cooking for Ashley and stuff like that. But like, this was like not once in a while, this was like really consistent. Like, so I said something like, damn, like, I don't ever get like no invite when you go out to the club. And she's like, I didn't think you would want to go. So like, okay. And then she became like really distant, kind of. We just stopped talking, and I know my timeline might be off just a little bit, but I know that we stopped talking for a few months. At this point, this is 2019, because my surgery was August 2018. She went away for a few months, came back, whatever. So for a few months, it was like not really that consistent. And then I had a talk with her. I'm like, you know, like, I just don't really like how this friendship is like one-sided. I feel like if I don't reach out, if I don't call, or it's like if you need something, like if you're going through something and you call my phone at 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm calming you down and I'm listening to you and all that, I'm there for you. But then it's like when you don't need me anymore, it's kind of like, okay, like, I don't need you no more. So, and it kind of got to a point where it was like that. So I talked to her about it, and I remember I was going to therapy at the time, and I told my therapist about it, and I started mentioning something about her growing up with like abandonment issues and stuff like that. I'm not gonna get into it because it's really her business. Some of you guys are gonna know who I'm talking about. But I know sometimes how she thinks, how her process is when it comes to things. So I'm like, you know what, let me reach out to her. So it was like a few months where we didn't talk, and I reached out to her and I talked to her about, you know, the way I was feeling, and she's like, you know, I knew that you were upset with me, and I didn't know if I should just like leave you alone. I didn't know if you were ever gonna want to talk to me again, because I get to a point when I'm like sick of someone. It's like, we're done. Like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm good off you. Like, and she thought that I was gonna be that way with her. So we talked on the phone, you know, she cried and everything, and I'm like, it's okay, like, you know, like, we're still best friends at the end of the day. It happens, like, whatever. 19, you know, things were kind of okay after that. I remember my birthday. No, I can't remember when in 2019 this happened, but this definitely happened in 2019. Fuck. I told you guys, please be patient with me, because my timing is kind of like, so much has happened where my timing is going to be kind of off a little bit. So I think we had that conversation towards the end of 2019, because like I said, there were a few months where we didn't talk. But I do remember I spent my 19th birthday in Miami, and we weren't talking at the time, and she had sent me a message, a long text on Snapchat saying happy birthday and stuff, and I was kind of like sick of her, honestly, like her stuff. So I just, you know, I gave you like a thank you. I gave her a thank you, love you too, whatever, and it was like that, and we didn't talk after that. So it wasn't no beef though. Like, there was nothing that had, like, there wasn't beef. It was just like she was doing what she was doing, and I didn't like it, so we just really didn't communicate like that. Her birthday is the month after mine, so I remember on her birthday I saw one of our mutual friends' Instagram, and she had like a whole birthday dinner that I wasn't invited to. So that like really hurt my feelings. Like, I was crying and everything, because it's like, she's really acting like that. Like, she's really like she's really doing that. So that really hurt my feelings. I don't even think I bothered to text her about it, but I was really hurt by that. Then I remember a few months after we had that conversation, and I told her I was hurt. You know, you had a birthday dinner, I wasn't invited to it, like all of that stuff. Like, we're supposed to be best friends at the end of the day. Then when we talked about it, I got over it, whatever, move on, move forward. So later that month, a few months after, I came up with the idea of shop SMTX. So I told her, you know, I think I'm gonna start like an online boutique, like an online store selling women's clothing. And she was like, I want to do it with you. And I'm just personally, honestly, I'm not the type of person that likes to work with people. Anything that I do, I don't want to have a business partner. It's too many opinions. You guys have to compromise. You have to split money and work out money issues and like things like that, and I just don't personally like to deal with stuff like that. So I was cool off that. And then, not to mention, when I had my first spring hoops event, she worked for me at the spring hoops event, and after the event she was like, I want to do an event with you. It's like, girl, you don't know nothing about basketball. And she was working the money, the entrance. So I automatically thought, you want to do one with me because you see the money that's being made off of it, because you can't even tell me what a layup is. And like, this is me just being honest. You don't know anything about basketball. Why do you want to do a basketball event with me? So I was like, no. So then when with shop SMTX, you know, it wasn't something that I wanted to do. I wanted to, like, you know, have my own thing. And after this is where things got so weird, like consistently weird, after I started shop SMTX. And this girl is always shopping. She's always buying stuff. She's always buying clothes and stuff like that. And I don't know if it's just me, but if my best friend opens up a clothing boutique with all the similar things that I buy, I'm gonna be buying for my best friend. Like, in 2 years she's purchased from me twice. Not saying that that's really like she has to, because she doesn't, but you know, that kind of like just stood out to me. I didn't get the support I really would have liked to. You know, it was here and there, but she wouldn't even watch my Instagram story, my Snapchat story. Like, you guys watch your best friend's stuff. Like, your best friend posts on social media, you're watching their stuff, you're seeing what they're posting. She wouldn't post, she wouldn't watch my stuff. And then the inconsistency started again with the friendship with her. It became again very one-sided. If she needed something from me, I was there. When she didn't need me anymore, I didn't hear from her. It was like when she got close to Ashley, it was like I felt like I was the friend that she could come to when she's dealing with real personal stuff that she wouldn't really trust telling anyone else. Or if it came to like family things, she would come to me because I've known her all her life, so I know what she's talking about, I know where she's coming from. I feel like I was that type of friend, and anything else, it was like not needed. Her and Ashley were like this. Her and Ashley go out to eat all the time, they do everything together, whatever. So I remember my 19th birthday, at dinner, she was recording me doing a video, and I mentioned shop SMTX. Did I say my 19th birthday? I mean my 20th birthday. So she was recording me. I was like, make sure you guys shop and shopsmtx.com. And she like immediately stopped recording. And this was like one of the biggest red flags that I ever really pay attention to, because she stopped recording. She's like, why do you always have to shout out your business? Why do you always have to mention your business? Like, can you make a video without mentioning your business? And it was like, girl, why are you mad because I'm shouting out my business? Like, so she deleted the video and did another video, and that's been a red flag ever since, because that was last year in June. But it's like, that's weird as hell. And I feel like this was also a friendship where anytime I was talking about something that has to do with me, it always turned into her. You know, like those friends that you mention anything and they start telling their experience and then they go off about them and it never goes back to you. It was like that for a very long time, and it was kind of like, okay, well, I'm not gonna say nothing about myself now because it's always gonna turn into her. So I was telling my mom, and I felt like she would kind of do too much. Like, I don't want to say it in a way that's like exaggerating what she would do, because I don't want to make it seem like she was doing entirely too much, because it wasn't that. But my 20th birthday, for example, after dinner, you know, we had like stairs that you had to walk up to leave the restaurant, and she was walking up the stairs ahead of everyone else, like walking with her feet crossing over each other like she was on a runway or something. And I felt like it was kind of like she wanted to be center of attention in a sense, because that wasn't the first time that happened. I remember my 17th birthday dinner, where it was like, take a picture of me, take a picture of me, take a picture of me. Obviously you go out, you dress up nice, you want to take a picture of yourself, but it was like too much in a sense, you know, like you would think it was her birthday, if that makes sense. So, and I told my mom, I'm like, pay, like you're gonna see what I'm talking about, because she's done it years before. After my birthday dinner, I said to my mom, like, you see, like you see what I was talking about? That's all I said. I'm like, you see what I was talking about? And she was like, yeah. Brushed it off, whatever, didn't really, nothing. I saw her probably a few days after my birthday, because she had brought me like my birthday card, whatever. And I'm like, I bet you that I won't see or hear from her again until her birthday, which is the next month, almost 2 months after mine. And not only did I not hear from her after that, I think about 3 days before her birthday, I remember watching her Snapchat and Instagram stories, and she had gotten an Airbnb maybe like somewhere an hour away. And I'm like, okay, I know this girl, she plans her birthday stuff in advance, she sends out invitations in advance, and she had a whole Airbnb and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I know it's for her birthday, but I'm still trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. So I'm like, I'm not gonna assume that it's for her birthday or anything, until the next day she posts pre-birthday festivities. So I'm like, hold on, like we're doing this again. Like, that's what I'm thinking, like, okay, we're doing this again. I text our mutual friend, the same one from the year prior of 2019, and I'm like, hey sis, did you get an invite to Sarah's birthday festivities? And she's like, yeah, how about you going? I'm like, oh, I didn't get invited. Like, yo, that was so crazy to me. I'm like, I didn't get invited. So that pissed me off, like, for real this time, because it's like, okay, I'm being a consistently good friend to you. I have to keep reaching out to you. You being weird as hell to me all the time, like, for no reason. And that, I was hurt by that again. So I still have the text from last year, the day before her birthday. I text her, good evening, I'm not sure why I wasn't invited to your birthday dinner that you're having along with your other birthday festivities, seeing that we haven't had any type of fallout or anything. However, I've come to the realization over the months that my definition of a friend may be different from yours. There's things that as a friend or a best friend that shouldn't be happening, but it's been happening, and I've had these combos with you multiple times, so I'm no longer doing so. I hope that you have a great birthday and many blessings to you moving forward in life. And this wasn't me being petty at all. I honestly was just like so done with this girl at this point. I sent it, I blocked her, because she's the type to play victim, and I just wasn't here for it. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't even give her the chance to say anything back. I completely blocked her. That was it. So that was that. This was July of 2020, so months went by, we didn't communicate. Of course I missed her because she was my best friend for so long, and I still care about the girl. So I texted her November 26th on Thanksgiving. Speaking of Thanksgiving, I didn't even mention, see, things are gonna start popping up. Speaking of Thanksgiving, on Thanksgiving 2019, when we started talking again, she has always come over to my house on holidays, on Thanksgiving, Christmas. She would always come over to my house, you know, because she was family, like she was tied in with the family. I remember having Thanksgiving dinner at my sister's house that lived in North Providence at this time. This girl was somewhere in like West Warwick. We had planned to for me to go pick her up, and we were gonna go Black Friday shopping together, right? So I drive literally 30 freaking minutes to go pick her up from North Providence to West Warwick, 30 minutes from West Warwick to my house. And I swear to God, she was at my house for like 15 minutes, and she was like, I have another stop to make. Like, she's leaving, like she's going to someone else's house. So I'm like, what you mean? Like, I just picked you up, I just did all that, we just made plans, and she was like, oh, you took too long when you came to get me, so I made plans with someone else. So I just drove an hour for no reason, basically. So that pissed me off, like, all the way. I was all the way pissed off. This girl got a ride, she left, then she went Black Friday shopping with Ashley. So basically I was on my own. Thank God for Abdul, my brother Abdul, that like I went and picked him up and he went freaking Black Friday shopping with me, because like that was wild to me. Anyways, it's things in between that's gonna be coming back to me. So I text her last year Thanksgiving, because I missed her, obviously. I said happy Thanksgiving. She said happy Thanksgiving. We didn't talk after that. At this point, we haven't really talked at this point for 7 months. So from June, we had our first conversation again. January 9th, she texted me, said that she misses me and all that. She's like, I miss you, how are you? I'm like, I miss you too, I'm doing well, how are you? I'm doing good, and I'm doing bad, good and bad. Life is just a never ending roller coaster. Then she says automatically, are you free anytime soon? We could grab a bite to talk and eat and like stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, like, you know, I told her my schedule, like when I was free and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I'm free tomorrow. And then I asked her if she ever responded to the text that I sent her, the birthday text. I was like, I was upset and I blocked you. She said, yes, I always respond when you text. And literally she told me that her grandmother passed away. And I was like, what grandmother? Like, because I've been a part of her life forever, so obviously I know her grandma. So I'm like, what grandma? And she told me the grandmother that I knew, and I felt so bad for her. And I was really upset, like I was really taken back, because I wasn't expecting to hear that. And she sent me voice messages and she was crying and everything, and she was like, I would really love if you came to the grave with me. This was January of this year. She was like, I would love if you came you know, with me to the gravesite. I haven't been there yet. So I'm like, yeah, of course, like whatever. So she came, not whatever, but she came to pick me up the next day. We went out to eat, we talked. She cried and stuff, and I just told her, you know, like we've had this conversation so many times, like honestly, like I'm tired of having this conversation. And she's like, yeah, I texted you in June after my birthday the year before in 2019 about some doctor, like if I had a PCD that I went to. And she's like, and you didn't text me back, but I saw that you were out with 2 of my other friends. So she was like, I thought like maybe I did something, you were ignoring me, so I didn't want to bother you again. And I showed her my phone. I'm like, I don't have no text from you. Like, why the hell would I not text you back over, like, and even if I missed the text and didn't text you back, why would you automatically assume that our friendship is over because I didn't text you back, you know? Like, it just didn't make sense to me. But I'm like, no, like, I just simply didn't see the text. Whatever. So she apologized, and I had mentioned, like, you know, you were always going out. This girl would, like, go to the park and stuff like that, like right next to my house, and be setting up. This girl would be near my house. She wouldn't stop by, she wouldn't come see me, she would never make plans, like never. It was never anything. So I like mentioned all that, and she was like, you know, I was going through a really tough time, and like the club was my outlet, and you know, I just my friend was going through it at the time too, so we were just always going and just drinking and like stuff like that. Which I don't think that she's lying, but you know, still. So I forgave her once again, and we went to the gravesite. You know, as soon as we got there, she broke down. I held her, and you know, just being a good friend. After that, things did get better a little bit. We ended up going, let me see, I don't want to get my timeline messed up again because I have all the receipts from that point on. So you know, we were just talking more, catching up on like what's been going on with the both of us in life. She was texting me more often, you know, like just simply like, you know, things like have a good day and stuff like that. So things were better for a little bit. Not even to mention, let me see, things coming back again. In 2019, when I had my birthday dinner, COVID hit in March. My birthday's in June, so I didn't know what the restrictions were for dining and stuff like that. And I know a lot of places were a minimum of 5 people for reservations. So I'm like, I told her, I'm like, I'm not sure what the reservations are, so if it is 5 people, I was thinking of having 2 separate dinners, one with like my family and my boyfriend at the time, and a dinner with my friends, if that was the case. I'm like, or we can just have a one-on-one. So she was like, well, who would be the 5? So I told her, you know, my mom, my sister, my uncle, my sister's boyfriend at the time, and my boyfriend at the time. No, I think it was my mom, me and my mom, my sister, her boyfriend at the time, and my boyfriend at the time. And when I said that, she hung up the phone on me. So I like waited a few minutes. I'm like, maybe her phone died or something, but I like saw her reach in and like hang up the phone on me. So I sent her like question marks, and she was like, you would pick him over me, like that's crazy. I'm like, girl, it's not about picking nothing. It would just make sense to have my boyfriend there with my family as opposed to having my boyfriend there with my friends. Like, I didn't really understand what the big deal was, but that was like real disrespectful. Like, don't ever hang up on me again. And I just didn't understand what the big deal was, because if it was vice versa, you know damn well you would have your boyfriend there over me. Like, we know that for a fact. So whatever, that was like another red flag. Before my birthday, ended up I could have how many ever people there that I wanted, so that was irrelevant. But that was another red flag. Like, don't do that. Like, I don't like that. So you know, we were just, like I said, we were catching up, and things were fine after that. But when, I want to say, was it April? Between March and April of March and April of this year, she was looking for apartments. She was apartment hunting. And she called me one day. She's like, what are you doing later? I'm like, nothing. She was like, oh, I want to go see an apartment and I don't want to go by myself, so will you come with me? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And I know damn well I wasn't her first option. She probably asked Ashley, and Ashley probably couldn't do it, so she called me and asked me if I wanted to come. So I went. After we checked the apartment, we went out to eat. No, we went to a lounge. We had drinks, we got some food, whatever, had some hookah. Cool. After that, she ended up getting an apartment that she didn't even like really tell me. I asked her what was going on with the apartment. She was like, oh no, I got a whole different apartment. She sent me pictures of it and stuff. I've never seen the girl's apartment. To this day, I have never seen the girl's apartment. She got the apartment in April. She showed me pictures of it because she went to my sister's birthday dinner in April, and she showed me the video and stuff like that. I never went to the apartment. I never got invited to the girl's apartment. You guys know, like, if you have your first apartment, you want your best friends to see your house. Like, I want my best friends, I want all my friends to see my house. Like, I never got an invite to her apartment. So I'm like, and I didn't really think about it until when we stopped talking. But I'm like, that's weird as hell. Like, why wouldn't, you know, like, I went with you to see an apartment, you ended up getting a different apartment, and I never got invited or anything like that. And I was happy as hell. I'm like, yes, like, I want to go with you when you buy, like, you know, stuff for the house, like decorative stuff, furniture, like all that. And it just never happened because she like didn't care about me, like, basically. So that was in April. I don't recall anything happening from May. I don't even think I talked to her for real after my sister's birthday. Oh, hold on, because in March, yeah, I think we went to go see the apartment in March. I went to Boston at the end of March. This is March 29th. I went to Boston. One of my friends was playing the Celtics, and I wanted to go. Like, obviously I was going to the game, and I asked her, I'm like, you want to go to a game with me tomorrow? Like, I'm already in Boston, you just have to pick me up from the hotel and bring me to like, and we can go to the game together. She was like, yeah, like, that's lit, like, come on. So she picked me up. It was cool. We went to the game, we parked, went to the game, whatever. This girl was on the phone literally the whole time, and it was like so annoying, because if you guys know, like, I really enjoy basketball. I really love basketball, and this girl wasn't even paying attention, and it was so annoying because I couldn't talk to her about what was going on. She was literally texting the whole time, and it was like, I could have asked somebody that would have really been watching the game, that could like really enjoy the game for, like, couldn't really fully enjoy the game because she just like didn't care about the game, basically. Whatever, it wasn't really a big deal. It was just annoying at that point, but that's gonna matter. Why I mentioned that's gonna matter. So after my sister's birthday, like I said, I don't really recall anything. I didn't see her. Honestly, the last time I saw her was in April at my sister's birthday dinner, April 17th, sorry. And I'm like, tell my mom again, I know I'm not gonna see this girl or probably hear from her again until my birthday, and then after that until her birthday. So I don't think in May I talked to her for real. Maybe I did. I don't know. Maybe I did. I don't know. This girl was dating some boy. I don't know if she's still dating him, whatever, it doesn't really matter. She would watch his nieces and nephews every Tuesday and Thursday, which she been doing for some time now, because when we started talking, she was telling me about him and like stuff like that. My birthday this year fell on a Thursday, so I told her 2 weeks prior. Hold on, because there was something else that happened. We had planned a dinner to go out. I think this might have been in May. This was definitely in May. We planned a night out to go to 787, the Puerto Rican restaurant, whatever. We planned to have a dinner there, get dressed up. We planned this probably like a week in advance. The day of the day we were supposed to go out, which I was really looking forward to it because I never go out anywhere, she texted me in the morning, I can't go out tonight, I don't feel good. So I'm like, okay, I hope you feel better. And that was that. Not, I don't really feel good, I'm so sorry for canceling, but can we reschedule for another time? She left it at that and didn't text me back. So I'm like, okay, but I had the girl's location. I don't even know if she remembered that I had her location or not. So I'm checking her location all day. This girl is around town. This girl is around town all day. So I'm like, you canceled on me because you don't feel good, but you are here and there and here and there all day. But I'm like, don't really want to assume, because I'm like, okay, maybe she doesn't feel good enough to go out, or maybe she's going places by herself, maybe she doesn't want to be around me. This is my thought process when like people are doing things to me, and I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I was like, man, no, maybe they don't mean it like that. And it's like, they do mean it like that, and they are doing it on purpose, and you need to stop being nice to people. That's my problem. I'm checking her location all day. She's going here and there. I text her later that day, and I'm like, how you feeling? She was like, I don't know if she said okay or something like that, or not too good, one of the two. She was like, I'm about to finally eat for the first time of the day, which I can see because I know I have your location. Whatever, left it at that. I still ended up going out. My friend Mikey ended up going out with me, so I still had a good time regardless, thank God for Mikey. But that was like, you know, that was kind of like whatever. The next day I asked her how she felt, and she said that she, what did she say? She was like, oh, I just left urgent care, I have a sore throat, or I have strep throat. She has something with her throat. So like, oh, maybe it's good that we didn't go out, because we were gonna go out and share a hookah and stuff like that, you know, whatever. So I was like, okay, you know, like, hope you feel better and stuff like that. Then back to my birthday. So I had told her, I sent everyone the same text 2 weeks before my birthday dinner, like, oh, you know, my birthday dinner is gonna be at Camille's on June 10th at 7:30 p.m. Will you be able to come? She texted me back like, yeah, why wouldn't I be able to come? Why are you making it seem like I wouldn't be able to come? And I'm like, I sent the same text to everyone, like, whatever. She was like, yeah, of course I'm gonna be there. Keep in mind, I told you, she been told me she was babysitting for her boyfriend Tuesdays and Thursdays. My birthday was on a Thursday. Day before my birthday, this girl texts me. Let me read the text. I know what she said, but let me. Hey girl, I completely forgot that I'm babysitting tomorrow, so I won't be able to make it for the dinner, but we can plan a personal dinner with just the two of us to make up for it. I said okay, but I knew damn well she wasn't gonna make up for nothing. I knew she wasn't gonna make up for nothing, because if you have to cancel, you're gonna say, damn, like, I'm so sorry, like, I'm not gonna be able to make it. We can plan another dinner, and you're gonna plan it right there and then, right? Keep in mind, you've been babysitting these kids Tuesdays and Thursdays for months now. You're not telling me that just the day before my birthday, all of a sudden you remember that you had to babysit when you've been babysitting. Now, she didn't say she was babysitting her boyfriend's whatever. She could have been babysitting one of her little sisters. That is true, but you've been babysitting them, I'm pretty sure. Come on. So that really pissed me off, honestly, because it's like, you didn't just remember the day before my birthday that you had to babysit some kids. And why you couldn't tell your boyfriend to babysit his own nieces and nephews? I'm not missing my best friend's birthday dinner to babysit my boyfriend's nieces and nephews. I'm sorry, I'm just not doing it. So that was that. She texted me for my birthday, saying happy birthday, whatever, thank you. And then she texted me how was my night and, you know, things like that. It was cool. I uploaded my birthday vlog on YouTube 3 days after my birthday. She loved the video. It didn't say anything, right? Now it's 4 days after my birthday, on June 14th. She texted me, asked me the name of the hotel I stayed at in Boston in March that she picked me up from, that I told you guys about. I told her what it was. She didn't respond. I texted her again. I thought we were gonna plan a dinner, lol. She said, so did I, but you never texted back till you sent your video, lol. I said, you're supposed to plan it. I have not talked to her since. That was June 14th. Today is October 21st. I have not talked to her since. Like, take a moment to like process everything that I just said. This is supposed to be my best friend. After that, I stopped sharing my location with her. I took hers off. Not even to mention, I think it was, my birthday was on that Thursday. On that Saturday, she was out having drinks with Ashley. So if you really wanted to make up for my birthday dinner, we could have did it that day because you knew that you had time and you just didn't want to. So it was so bad to the point over these years that I'm telling you guys certain events, and I'm pretty sure there's so many things that I'm leaving out, that every time I would mention her, it was so bad to the point my friends would say, oh, the one that's not really your friend. Like, it was so embarrassing because everyone around me could tell that she didn't like me, could tell that she wasn't really my friend. Everyone knew that she wasn't a good friend to me. And my problem was, I always defended her, and I'm like, she's not a bad friend because, you know, when I had my surgery, you know, she was there and stuff like that. And it took me a long time to realize that was 3 years ago. If you haven't been a good friend in 3 years, that's what I had to come to terms with. Like, and I've really been sitting and thinking and reflecting. I'm like, this girl don't like me for real. And my friends is like, maybe she's jealous, but I'm like, I don't like to look at my friends and think that they're jealous of anything. And I've always said, nah, I don't think it's that, because what would she be jealous of me for? Personally, I always thought that she did better than me in some aspects, and like, you know, she has her own apartment, she has she got her own first car by herself, she manages her money good, she has a good job, she makes a good amount of money. I've never even been jealous of her. I'm like, why would she be jealous of me? Like, you know, she does. I've always said that she's done better than me in life, and I took that as like, you know, like, good for her, like, really, like, giving her flowers. Like, I look at that as like, you know, inspiration kind of. So I'm like, what the hell would she be jealous of me for? Like, I don't think it's that. And one of my friends said, jealousy is not always like materialistic things. It could be simply because maybe you're more known than she is, or maybe you're doing something that she wants to do, maybe. And that made me think, like, the way that she reacted that day when I mentioned shop SMTX. Maybe I don't know. Like I said, I don't like to think that my friends or anyone is jealous of me. Like, I don't. But it kind of makes sense, because it's like, why are you being weird? Why are you being weird to me? Like, why are you being weird to me? You know what I'm saying? So it really been hurting my feelings for months, and I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna reach out. I'm done. Clearly this girl does not care. We've had this conversation so many times over a couple of years. Nothing has changed. She's not gonna change. It's clear as day that this girl does not like me for whatever reason, and it's really sad and really unfortunate, because this is my sister. Like, we grew up together since we were in diapers. As long as we have a freaking brain, a memory, she's always been in my life. I paid attention to the way she always showed up for people, the way she never showed up for me, how I always showed up for her, if that makes sense. Yeah, like, and I just want to say, because I know like there's people that have gone through this, or that are going through this, or maybe you in a friendship where I mentioned a lot of things that you guys are realizing that you are going through and haven't even realized how much of a problem it is. A lot of red flags, and it sucks and it's sad because I never thought that that would happen, but it wasn't really a surprise to me because it was so much that was taking place over the years of how much she was just changing and stuff like that. But for us to not have talked after that speaks volumes. It says a lot. I didn't even say happy birthday to this girl this year. I'm just like, whatever. And I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a point in time in a couple of months from now where she's gonna try to reach out. And honestly, and if you're watching this video, which I'm sure you'll probably come across it one day, who knows, don't even bother, honestly. Like, it's no love lost. Like, I'll always have love for you, and I would never wish you any bad or anything like that. But like, I'm just all set, because I have been nothing but a good friend to anyone that I'm friends with. So, you know, and it really sucks, you know, because I don't have female friends. I don't confide in people like that for real, because I just don't trust people. So it's hard for me to let people in and stuff like that. And especially after this experience, it's like, it doesn't matter how long you've been friends with someone. And that was another problem of mine. I'm like, maybe she just wants to be my friend. Maybe she just wants me around to say that I've been friends with her for 20 something years. But I think she just wanted to keep me around if she needed me for something, not materialistic or favor or anything like that, but if she needs me to talk about something that maybe she doesn't feel comfortable talking about with someone else, it's like she's here. But that's my story. That's what happened, and there was never no closure, no nothing. I just have not talked to her since June 14th 2021, 4 months ago. So anyways, leave your comments down below. If you are in a friendship like this, let it go. Let it go, because they don't care. It's just gonna get worse. They don't feel bad about what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And that was another thing. I'm like, I've had this conversation with this girl so many freaking times. I don't want to see the tears anymore. I don't want to hear I'm sorry anymore. I don't want to hear any more excuses, because there's absolutely no reason that someone acts like that, but the simple fact that they just don't fucking like you for whatever reason, and they just don't care about you. So if you're in a friendship, let it go, child. Let it go. Let it go, because you'd rather be by yourself than have someone around you that doesn't really care about you for real. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave your comments down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say. And please do not text me responding to this video, because every time I post a YouTube video, all my friends be texting me having their thoughts about the video, and it's like, comment it down below because it helps with my channel. So please leave your comments down below. Give a big thumbs up. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video.